telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day and a man goes work. So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. And a woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to do
Why?
how tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of
Have you
all,
done that?
I do it every day.
First of all, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right.
So you don't want to be a
pause.
woman.
I just
No,
let
you
you
don't
talk.
want to
I
be
just
a
let you
woman.
talk. Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you.
And you're yelling.
All this, I cook and I clean, and like, yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when
that's
your
what
car
I'm
need an
saying.
oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife. Period.
So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day and a man goes work.
Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kodash. The blessings to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elders. You know, in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. Speaking about the elders, the James, who have taught us this truth, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Now, here we have a quick lesson, you know, and we keep seeing these things on the internet, and it show you how far the Negro woman is gone, that she don't even know her own nature, or she would deny what her own existence, what she was created for, right? You know, and to live a life where, you know what I mean, is very destructive, right? Because this is what this is the reason why, you know, our women are like monsters, man, are this way, because they don't know their nature. They don't know who they are. They don't know their purpose or why they were created. You know? And the moment you start to tell them that, it seems like, yo, you're putting them in slavery and bondage. But this way of life for a woman is moving. It's basically destructive. It's very destructive, man. Very combatant, taking over the job of men. You understand me? Can't keep ourselves calm. The scripture says it's supposed to be delicate and tender. You know what I mean? But the roles have been switched, and thanks to Esau Edom, you know, he has manipulated, you know, the minds of our women, right? And this is the end product. Somebody who is very combative when it comes on to even their own good. When you're speaking to them for their own good, you know, they're very combative, man. They're very, you know what I mean? It's crazy, man, but let me just show you, not out of my own understanding, but what the scripture actually says about these women. Because it's crazy, man. You know, we do these lessons, but we have to keep on doing them because, you know, it is what we do. When we see these things, we have to bring the scripture and show you, you know, what the Lord said, because even though these men are actually on point majority of the time in correcting them and showing them the right path, there's nothing like the scripture, the understanding of the scripture, right? So this is Titus 2 and verse 1. It says, speak thou the things which become sound doctrine. And this is sound doctrine. So listen up. It says, the aged men be sober. It said that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, right? Which go back to self-control. You know? It says sound in faith and charity and in patience, right? In patience. Okay, speaking about the woman now, he said the aged women likewise, right? That they be in behavior as becoming holiness, right? Separate and apart, right? It says, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things. Now, wine in the scripture, you know, is also symbolic to wisdom, right? Not giving too much wisdom, because women are like children. You understand me? They don't have, as the scripture mentioned up at the top, temperate, self-control. Let's go back to self-control. They don't have self-control. A woman can sit here and a man come, you're a woman, a matter of fact, and a man come and manipulate her mind and have sex with her, trick her. That's why a man of understanding used to give his daughter to, just marry her off to a man with understanding, right? Because if you left up to a woman basically like a man because she like how him walk. You know what I mean? She like how him talk. She like how him look in that particular clothes. These are things in the mind of a woman, and these go back to children-like behavior. No matter how old they are. See, that's why the scripture show you the nature of their character. It says that false accusers not giving too much wine. And I also go back to, as I've been saying, to philosophies, doctrine, and all of that. You know what I mean? Because they move with them feelings. So they're not supposed to even having too much wisdom or doctrine. Too much wisdom and all of that. Right? Wine also, regular wine, not supposed to be given regular wine because them, as we said, them void judgment also. See? Cool. You know what happens when a woman get drunk? Taken advantage of. Right? So that they may teach the young women to be sober. To what? To love their husband. And that's what look. There's a lack of love for men in this society. A woman right now is for a man because of what she can gain. There's nothing as genuine love right now because when you really look, there's no laws governing these women's body. You understand me, I say? You've been with a woman for, 5 years? And through the 5 years, she been stepping out in a relationship. You know what I mean? Multiple times. And you may not even know that because there is no laws that are going to hold them accountable. None whatsoever. There is no penalty for committing adultery. And plus, these women are given liberty to do that. You understand? Right? It says that they may teach a young woman to be sober, to love their husband, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, right? To be obedient to their husband, that the word of Yahweh Bashem shall be not blasphemed, right? So they're supposed to be keepers at home, to love their husband. When you say keepers at home, man, that means they're supposed to keep the house. She's saying that she don't want cook and clean and all of that, man, as if she doesn't even have to do that for her own self. So if you're doing that for yourself, right, and your man is there taking care of other things, you're saying that you rather do that for yourself than do that for the man that's providing not just funds but protection, guidance, and all of that. You see how the system create you to basically hate men. That's what it is, man. The system has created the woman, especially of our nation, to hate men. Right? And it had created men to simply run behind these women. It's crazy.
Which character?
So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work, and he's tired when he gets home. And a woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to do
Why-
that? How tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of
Have you
all,
done
I
that?
do it every
It is your job. As the woman says, she do it every day.
first of all, do not.
That's what she says. She do it every day because that's her duty. That's how we just read in the scripture. Look, and this is as scripture says, man, that's what the whole of woman should be teaching the young ones. You understand? This should be in their minds from a young age to wash, cook, clean. Teach them how to take care of man if they're ever married. I can't forget my grandmother always teach my sister that. My grandmother mainly always teach my sister that. And she always, have this embarrassing look on her face that, oh, I'm not going to get married and whatever. But my grandmother knew that one day she would come and get married. You know, she was young, so she never understand. You know, but and I go to see she learn everything, man. And she's pretty humble, I can say that. You know, I don't know. You know what I mean? If she have any secrets in her closet, which, you know, but, you know, but it's crazy, man.
Choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right.
So you don't want to
Wait,
be a
pause.
woman.
I just
No,
let
you
you
don't
talk.
want to
I
be
just
a
let you
woman.
talk. Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you.
And you're yelling.
All this, I cook and I clean and yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
When
that's
your
what
car
I'm
need an
saying.
oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a white, period.
All right. And you see the yelling now, once the man started to tell us yelling doesn't make her right. You know what I mean? But it's a sign of low intelligence. You see her tone kind of come down. That's the reason why they need to be in order. Right? This is Proverbs 9 and verse 13. It says, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Let me just get this in see if I can look at the word clamorous. Proverbs. Right. So it says clamorous, it says murmur, growl, roar, cry aloud, right? Mourn, rage, sound, right? Make noise, tumult, be clamorous, disquieted, loud, right? See, so it says a woman like that is loud, it says she's foolish. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knowing nothing. That's a prime example. Another video, prime example. She seated at the door of the house on a seat in the city. It's like in the high place of the city to call passengers to go to go right on their way, right? Who go right on their way. It's like it says, who is simple, let him turn hither, and for him that wanted understanding, she said unto him, stolen water are sweet, and bread eaten in secret are pleasant. So this is the mindset of our the characteristics where the scripture assure you about these women, right? See, a man that is simple, I got turn into her, right? And she gonna say what? Stolen water and bread eaten in secret. You know what I mean? Is pleasant, right? Meaning the things that are against the law, right? See, like adultery, you know what I mean, and all of those things, is now being, it's enticing, you know, things that are taboo, things that are you know, things that are not right. You know what I mean? She'll go present it as something pleasant, right? And the end will be your destruction. So these are the characteristics of these women that you see talking in the media, right? It says, but he know not that the dead are there, and that our guests are in the depths of hell. And that's why you find out a lot of men fall into these traps with these women, and at the end of the day, you know, they're left worse than they were before, right? Either child support, with a paternity fraud, right, with the kids, none of the kids are yours, you know what I mean, or whether it's just break you mentally, right? And when they finish, they move on to the next one, right? That's the destructive nature of these women. Hope this was edifying. With that, I want to give our praises and our glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers and highways and the byways, preaching, teaching His word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.